20,000 stacked up on the digester. That'll take a while. Meanwhile, I'll use the class for wrapping. Why not? It's not quite as agile as the JCB, but I'm not sure if I need better agility going into the horse yard. I mean, the class is definitely wider, so it's not going to fit through the gate quite so easily. I do enjoy having a very manoeuvrable tractor on the wrapper, of course. But, at this point it is what it is. Now, I believe we took 4 loads over, so we were at 30, 28, 56. 56 bales shipped so far, plus those 4 is 60. So, of course, 56 is 60% of our thing. So 2 more loads of bales to get us to 90. And then it gets complicated. Maybe 10. So I guess we'll take 60. Taking 60, I'll need to take 90. Oh, I'm struggling with math. So we take 2 more trailers, so I need to wrap 24, because we've already got 4 on the trailer. That will get us to 90% of the contract done. And then all I then have to do is wrap 10 more. We'll take those. So that's our tentative plan for now, I guess. I'm not counting, so anything could happen. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, halfway to the first trailer load. Come on. 6. 7. This thing is just so slow. Number 8. Actually, this tractor's not too bad. JCB just gives us a little bit more agility because of the steering. They have messages. It's probably weather related. My phone likes to notify me that it's going to be 77 high today. Email has just got another 20 spam mails that it really needs to inform me about. Okay. 2, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're now up to 10. We need 14 more to create two transport loads. Again, probably going to lose count because I'm really not paying that much attention. And then 10 more after that. That probably put us up to 100.4%. It's one thing I've noticed when you're doing contracts, it always rounds down the number of bales you've got. So a bale could be 10.6% of the contract. So the first one you ship is 10, the second one you ship is 21, and then the third one you ship would be 31. But at some point that 0.6 is going to roll up to a whole one as opposed to every other bale, and you'll get 2 bales in succession worth 11%. They're not, but I think we'll come at that sideways. It's just a little easier. I don't know. We might be at 4. We might be at more. Not counting. Lost count. Okay, so the feeding stuff is at the front here. Okay. I want to look at ownership of land. Oh, that is interesting. This area here, which has the trees behind us, that is counted as part of this field. However, it wasn't counted as part of the field as far as a contract is concerned. Normally, I think when you're doing a contract, you do have some leeway along the edge of the field. So the grass, headlands that aren't considered part of the ploughed field area. But that line usually extends all the way up to the limits of the land parcel. And it would appear, in this case, it does not. It does allow me to cut those trees down over there. Although I mean, once we start putting sheep in this field, once we buy this field and put sheep in it, I'm really not planning any tractor work in it. So, I'd probably leave those trees there for shade for the sheep. Because they probably like that. In fact, they almost definitely like that. We pass a field on the way, well, it's probably a backyard on the way to church, and they have about half a dozen sheep, and on really hot days the sheep are all just standing under the tree in the backyard and just sheltering from the sun. So we'll be caring shepherds and retain the trees in this field just so the sheep have some shelter on those really hot days. Ooh, I'm wondering how good our income's going to be for this past year, though. Is that over there? Some shrubbery on the edge of the field. Okay, I think I am about close to 14, so we'll do these 4. We'll jump back in the case. See if we've got enough for 2 loads up to the horse farm. Definitely got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We could have maybe a few bales. Over the contract. Going to estimate about 16. So anything left over after we've finished the contract, we'll ship in full trailers to the BGA for sale. Anything left after that, we'll keep on site as a food source for the sheeps over the coming year. So we had that with the last one. Yeah, there was 1 bale more than a full truckload, so I'll keep it in the sheep field, and once it's finished fermenting, which it has done now, I can then use it as sheep food after I've finished off all the round. I'm surprised we're really not going through those round bales very quickly either. Okay. I'll do that. I'll load that there, and I can pull forward a bit. Alright, where plates? There we go. Okay. No, I didn't want to get back in. Still don't want to get back in. Get out. So, the goal is to get 2 loads onto the trailer, and then I'm hoping we can add about 10 and get the contract complete. We might get lucky and it might only be 9. I mean, so far what we've been seeing is every 14th bale is worth 2% of the contract. Is it 14th? Yeah, 14 bales is 15%. So every 14th bale counts 2% towards completed. And take a quick. So 68% complete. So 68% complete incorporates the actual cutting and transporting. Come on. That's 11. So 3 more and run down to there. So yeah, not planning to check the BGA right away because 50,000 litres is going to take a while to digest. Press the correct button. There we go. Okay, hoping that's the gate. Yeah. This tractor is starting to show some wear on the red paint along the front there. I think that's something that's nicely implemented on Seasons for 19, was the whole wear and tear aspect, and the vehicle condition, visual condition is tracked differently from the vehicle's maintenance condition. So this tractor is well maintained, mechanically it's sound, but visually it's looking a little tired. I could pay a paint shop to touch up those bits where the paint flaked, but frankly it doesn't change the tractor's mechanical condition, which is obviously the more important thing. Okay, how are we doing? Good grief, it's 11:20 already. Kind of figured this contract was going to take an entire stream's worth of time to get done. It usually does when they're this size. And again, I think it's only going to pay out about 40,000. But we are selling a bunch of silage bales overnight, so it's possible that we could end up with a good amount of, very carefully, try to swing into the yard so that oh, I've reversed way too far. Alright, that's that. Let's get that unloaded. So is that actually... I must admit, I don't play much vanilla game, so I wasn't sure whether my struggling up the hills was a factor of the base game or a factor of maybe one of the mods I'm running. Because I know that was true in at least in 17. I was playing, I think it was the realistic fuel usage mod, which basically varied the amount of fuel you used based on the power draw on the tractor. And hills did make a huge difference. I mean, more noticeable than base game difference. So much so that, it's one of the reasons why I have the class Axion 940, and we had it from the get-go in on Lawfolds, was because even running 250 horsepower equipment, I needed 380 horsepower to get that stuff up some of the hills on Lawfolds. So maybe it is base game. It's I'm thinking that on 17 it was exacerbated by at least one of the mods I was playing with. But it's difficult to say because I've got these various what I call quality of life mods, which just make playing the game a little bit more enjoyable. And some of them do affect things like fuel usage, although from 17 to 19 Giants incorporated an essence of that realistic fuel usage mod. So, the more work a tractor is doing, the faster it uses up fuel. So, and it may be that part of their whole gearbox thing, where I know for the CVT tractors, continuously variable transmission, you just stick it in drive or reverse, but on tractors which have 4 gears, and then you have low, medium and high on top of that, you may be able to mitigate those hills, which I just can't do with the way I'm set up, because all I'm running is drive and reverse. I wonder if I did use more of the enhanced vehicle driving enhancement mod, whatever it's called, I could have manually selectable actual gears. So I would have to shift for second, third, and that might be, I could mitigate some of the hills on this map. But yeah, you're right, the hills are definitely noticeable. I mean, even my telehandler empty struggles up the hill to the farm, which is kind of ridiculous. Now the other thing for our 22 series, when we switch to that, I'm not sure we're going to have access to things like software developer mods or money cheats or anything like that. So I might go back to sort of farm sim roots, if you like, and actually start the new series completely from, I don't know that I'll start from scratch, but we'll probably start with very basic equipment and really work to get things up and running. That will be interesting. Obviously it's going to be quicker, because we'll only be playing with 1 day season, or what would today be considered 1 day seasons, as opposed to 3, 6 or 9 day seasons. 1 day seasons. No, we'll be playing with 3 day seasons. 1 day per month, per calendar month. And we're playing 3 days per calendar month on this playthrough. Now, we used to be playing 6. But the farm's getting big. Okay, you're done. We did 2 more than we needed to, so I need to do 8 more to finish this. Hello, fold. So as soon as I've done this run, we'll take a jump over to the JCB, see how much more clover silage we need to feed into the digester. Yeah, I mean, I do like starting from scratch, but I like starting from scratch, and actually this might be an option in 22 again. I liked starting from scratch with older tractors. I'm currently, the old Stream Farm, I start from scratch with an old International 2-wheel drive tractor that cost about 30,000, I'm guessing. Plus I'm playing with the used equipment mod, so I got 5,000 discount on it, and it looks terrible because all the paint's peeling off it and what have you. But it's an adequate tractor. It's about same as we did with Ungertsheim. I had a small Zeta tractor that's about 100 horsepower, so it's capable of using the base game smallest equipment. But you're not spending half your money on a tractor. I mean, even going with something like the Fendt Favorite 500, I could go with the 515, which means I've got 150 horsepower tractor, but that's $100,000. And my start from scratch budget is 500,000. I've still got to buy the farm, I've got to buy the land, and I try and maximize the land that I can buy because that's the income source. You can make money from the land whether you have a 20 horsepower tractor or a 500 horsepower tractor. You're not going to make any extra money given the land you've got. So the whole we finally blew the entrance. Okay. And there we go, fixed it. But yeah, it's a sort of, it's the argument I've made with this. I would like another tractor, but it's not going to make me produce more money. What's going to make me produce more money is having more land that I can farm. So start from scratch mode, I want as much land as I can, and much usable land I can get. So things like when we go here, we were just looking at field 7. This is a usable part of field 7. This is a waste part of field 7. I think for the most part on Oxygen David maps there's not a lot of waste space, but you go to something like Ravensport and you select an area like this, and this is all trees, and this is a huge mountainside, and this is waste ground, and you end up with a tiny little patch of maybe 3 usable fields and a lot of waste ground. And I don't, that's blown income. If I can use the land and plant something in it, it's going to be useful. If I can't plant in the field, then it's waste ground. I'm spending money on land I can't get income from, and that's, especially on start from scratch, that's a big penalty or handicap, whatever word you want to use. Oh, I think I've really made a mess of this, haven't I? There we go. We'll just mash that bush. But what Oxygen David does is he tends to make the between field areas, you own it and it's free. So I could role play a council contract and mow the verges of this lane. I won't get paid for it, or I could cheat in money. I got paid by the council for mowing the grass here, but it's land I can manipulate without having to pay money to buy it. And sometimes he'll give you the BGA free of charge, and it's on ground that costs nothing. So the hedgerows are included. I own the hedgerow on the left type of thing, but I don't own the field behind it. But that's the map designer. That's not the idea that Giants is giving you. But a lot of map makers, the area of land you're buying includes the part of the road, the verge at the side of the road of the ground that you just bought. And I can't plant crops on a road. So the less money I'm spending on wasteland, obviously I want a yard that I can park things in, but after that, put sheds on. But if you're going to give me a predefined yard, then I can buy that. That's my sheds, and I want a couple of fields around it that I can get income from, and then I just need the selection of equipment. So a tractor, a harvester, some form of seeding equipment, some form of ploughing and or cultivating equipment, but it's all small, simple stuff. It's going to take me game-wise 5 hours just to get the fields prepared before I can even plant anything in them. But I don't care, because that's